welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my October reset slash TBR. I am genuinely so excited. I like making a plan and having a to-do list at the beginning of every single month. Last month didn't go to plan, as we will see in my August and September wrap-up, but I have high hopes for the month of October. So we're going to try to set ourselves up for success. The month is not technically over, but at the time of filming this, I have only completed one book. We have a big to-do list for today. Some things that I would like to do today. I would like to take off my September TBR from the top layer of my TBR cart. I want to kind of put some other fall books on there. I want to do a monthly book haul of some recent purchases that I might want to add to my TBR. I have a little decoration for my TBR cart that I really want to do. I want to redo the stickers on the back of my Kindle. Of course, obviously pick out my actual TBR for the month using my little TBR jar that we used last month. Kind of a tall order, kind of a lot, but we're gonna get it all done. I think we'll start with taking some books off of my TBR cart that don't really fit the season anymore, and then we'll probably do the book haul so that we can get all the TBR cart stuff done. Alright, now that my TBR cart is all clean, I do have some books that I have purchased this month that some of them I need to shelve, but some of them I want to put on my TBR cart. I figured I would just show you all of them. First up is one that I read in the month of August. You'll see my August and September wrap up bound up into one coming very soon, but I read Ready or Not by Cara Bastone. I don't know where I got the extra RA. I'm not sure where it came from. Anyway, I loved this book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. It's one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Audiobook, if you have the opportunity to read it, is so well produced. One of the best audiobooks I've literally ever listened to. So I wanted a physical copy for my shelves. This cover is absolutely freaking adorable, so had to add this. This is not going on my TBR cart, but I wanted to show it off anyway and recommend it because I haven't really had a chance to talk about it on my channel yet. The next few aren't going on my TBR cart. One is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This is the sequel to Powerless. I still have not yet read Powerless. I think that might make it onto my TBR cart potentially in November. I'm not quite ready to read it yet. I wanted to make sure that I got the exclusive edition of this one because I don't really like the other color. I think it's pink or red. I didn't really like it, so I wanted to get this one. I know I haven't heard necessarily great things about this, but it is the second book in a YA fantasy trilogy, so it kind of tends to happen, but I've heard amazing things about the rest of the series as a whole, so I wanted to get this one anyway because I feel like I will still like it even if I don't necessarily love this book. I'm just talking in circles now, but that's why I got this one. Then I stocked up on some Christmas reading material because I want to start filming videos for Christmas time soon, just because I have a pretty full schedule. I want to make sure that I have time to do it, and I want the reading material. One of my most anticipated releases of the year, Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. I read the entirety of the Bright Falls series earlier this year and loved it. This is a sapphic Christmas romance that takes place between exes, so it's second chance. Cannot express to you how excited I am to read. Truly over the moon. I've been squealing about it since I picked it up. Then I got one that I've never heard of, but this cover was super cute and the synopsis sounded really fun, and that is I'll Be Gone for Christmas. This one is by Georgia K. Boone. I've never read anything by this author before, but it is basically for fans of The Holiday. If you've never seen that movie, it's basically where these two women swap places for Christmas because they're both really frustrated with the points in their life that they're at. One girl who lives in Connecticut goes to San Francisco. The girl who lives in San Francisco switch places and goes to Connecticut for the week of Christmas to kind of get their heads on straight. It sounds really fun. I'm excited. Plus it's not super long. I got The Mistletoe Mystery by Nita Prose. I need to read the first 2 books in this series in order to read this one. So this is a novella from the Maid series, which is Cozy Mystery. I have the first book from Book of the Month, so I'm gonna have to add it onto my TBR for the month and hopefully be able to read this one by Christmas. It's so short and cute. I'm so excited. I feel like if I do like a Christmas themed readathon, I could read this one in a day and have it just be like a quick palette cleanser. Those were the 3 Christmassy books that I have. The rest of these should be getting added to my TBR cart, but I also got the cutest little bookmark that I will for sure be using, and that says "Be Happy." It is so freaking cute. I really like bees. I think that they're cute. When they come near me, I get really scared because I don't want them to sting me, but I also don't want to hurt them because you shouldn't kill bees. But I just feel like this is like the cutest, like, aesthetic bookmark. I don't know. I'm obsessed with it. I thought it was so cute, so I really wanted to get it. Also this month, I got my book of the month box in. Both the books that I got, I really want to add onto my TBR cart. The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. She is the author of The Last Thing He Told Me, which I loved. That was one of my favorite books of the year that I read it. So I have very high expectations for this one. I low-key want the exclusive edition from Barnes & Noble though, with like the gold. Like, it's just so pretty, and it's the same height as the other one. They could be on my shelf together. I want to read this one and make sure that I like it first. And I also got Phantasma by Kaylee Smith. This one is an adult fantasy that like takes place in hell, and it kind of reminds me of Caraval meets Kingdom of the Wicked. If you've read either of those books, that is what this seems like to me, and it seems so good. She is a chunky one, but I am very excited. I've also heard really good things about this so far, so I want to add this to my TBR cart as well and hopefully get to it. Then I also picked up Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I am so excited for this one. I've never read an Alice Feeney book before. I heard Sarah Caroli talk about this one, and Stasia has loved Alice Feeney for so many years, so I have been meaning to read a book by her. Basically, this is about a baby who gets stolen from a stroller, and then 20 years later a woman is unalived, and somehow those stories are connected. Like, are you kidding? Are you actually kidding me? How are those connected? Like, I have to know. So this is 100% going on my TBR cart, probably going on my TBR if there is a prompt that I can make this work for. Absolutely. I also picked up Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm so sorry. I read Assistant to the Villain in September and loved it. I've also been in just like the biggest fantasy mood. This is the perfect cozy fantasy if you're looking for a cozy fantasy. It's got the I hate everyone but you trope, and like also Touch Her and You Die. I'll explain more about it in my wrap up, but I loved that book, so I needed the second one immediately so I could get the pretty sprayed edges. I will probably be putting this on my TBR as well. That is everything that I have purchased this month, I think anyway, that is going on my TBR cart. The other book that I'm adding onto my TBR cart that was not, but I started reading it, is Mile High by Liz Tomford. This is the book that I am currently in the middle of. I am a little bit further than this right now. I am currently 44% of the way through. I've been reading it on my Kindle. I want to annotate it once I am done because I've been highlighting and everything. This one is the first book in the Windy City series, which I have heard so much about, and I wanted to start and potentially finish the series before the year was over, which is pretty ambitious considering my track record with series. This is a hockey romance, and the beginning starts at the beginning of October, so like an even more perfect time to read it. I really couldn't. I am loving this one so far. I've heard so much hype about this series, and I finally just took the plunge, and now I am eating it up. I have not been reading much in the month of September, but like, look at that. I did that in like 2 days. This is a 500-page sports romance, and I am obsessed with it. Basically, we are following Xander's and Stevie. Stevie is a flight attendant. She is part of the crew for Xander's hockey team for the duration of the season, but there is a rule that the flight attendants cannot fraternize with the hockey team. Right out of the gate, Stevie and Xander's have this like palpable tension between them that is like off the charts. It's stunning. Their banter is incredible, and I find myself like truly not bored a moment in this. I have not really been bored. I love the emotional depth that we're getting between our two characters, and like individually as well. It just means everything to me. It's chef's kiss, and this is not even people's favorite book in the series. Usually The Right Move is, so I cannot wait to see what I think of this and continue on with the series, because if I'm loving this one this much, how much am I going to love The Right Move and like the rest of the series? I'm so excited. I can't even speak. So we're adding this one to my TBR. Hopefully I can finish it in the month of September, but if I can't, as I mentioned, I have been reading that on my Kindle, and looking at my Kindle, I am obsessed with the stickers on the back. They are giving summer. It is no longer summer, so I want to switch these out so that we can go forth and conquer with all of the fall vibes. I have so many like stickers to choose from, plenty of fantasy stickers. I am in the fantasy mood, and I feel like if I add some fantasy stickers onto here, then maybe that will inspire me to pick up more fantasy books. I have no idea if that logic makes any sense or holds any water, but we're going to give it a try. Before that though, let's add these books onto my beautiful TBR cart. Also, this little decoration that I got, this little Halloween garland, obsessed. She's adorable.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost.
I don't know how I possibly could have forgotten, but I've done more impressive things. There were a couple of other books that I purchased in this month that I really wanted to add onto my TBR, and also just other books that I had on my TBR that I want to put on my TBR card. The first two are Lucy Score books, so I have No More Secrets and Fall into Temptation. I know absolutely nothing about these except they are not the usual length that Lucy Score books are published at, so I thought that these would be fun like palette cleansers. Plus, this one is giving me fall vibes. It says fall right on the title. The other one that I really want to add is Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent, because I just keep seeing stuff about it. And it's fantasy. I'm in a fantasy mood, so I need to add this one. That was probably my worst timing. Both my camera and my phone died at the same time. We are back with my beloved TBR card fully stocked. I went ahead and did my Kindle redecorating, so that is what it looks like now. I made a TikTok about it because my phone definitely charged faster than my camera. I don't think I have any other books to add onto my TBR cart. Now that my TBR cart is full and I am happy with everything that is on there, it is finally time to pick prompts for my TBR for the month. My two guests of honor that I had last month are unfortunately sick this month, so I will be picking all of them. I don't know how many I'm gonna pick. 6 feels reasonable, but with how busy I was last month, I don't know if that's true, and I want to give myself room to mood read, but I think we are going to do the same thing we did last month, where I gave you guys a book to choose for me, because I think that was a lot of fun. I am gonna put Butcher and Blackbird on my TBR without a prompt because I did not end up having time to read it last month, and this was the one that you guys chose for me. So this is automatically going to be on my TBR, as well as Mile High, just in case I don't finish it in the month of September, but we'll see if I can make this fit for a prompt. We'll just have to see what prompts I end up pulling. I think 4 seems fair and reasonable, so we're gonna do that. So that one is Soft DNF. I don't know if I have any. We have a couple options. This is actually a good one. I have 2 for this one. I have Red, White, and Royal Blue. I did not intentionally soft DNF this one. It just kind of happened. I forgot that I was reading it. I got 54 pages into it, and I did really like it. I kept this one on here because, like I said, with the upcoming election, I felt like this could be like a political romance. So this is option number 1. The other option is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher, which I am 186 pages into. I feel like I need to restart this one, and this one feels more summery to me. This is kind of a hard choice. I think we're going to revisit this. This might end up being the choice that I have you guys choose between for me on which one you want to see me read. This one is the second book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and this is the first book by Casey McQuiston. They're like all stuck together. Maybe I shouldn't have picked sticky notes to do this with. Like, what is this? This is gonna be the one that I put back. I will be honest, I am not feeling a Bridget Kemmerer book right now. I think we're gonna keep picking. This one's good. So that one is a book gifted to me. Actually, I think I only have one, and that is Serpent in the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. My boyfriend bought this for me like around my birthday, and I haven't read it yet. This one is like a vampire fantasy where there are a bunch of trials, and our main female protagonist is not a vampire and she's trying to compete with them, which should basically be impossible. There is an enemies to lovers romance in here, so it's a romantasy. I think that this one sounds a lot of fun, so I think this one is the one that we're going to choose. Alright, we have a white one. Perfect! This is what Mile High can count for. Or if I finish it, then I can go right into the right move. That one was a sports romance, which, like I had mentioned, this is a hockey romance. So if this ends up bleeding into October, which I am hoping it doesn't, then I will have this as that. I will have this as that. Perfect. I will use this to fulfill that prompt. We've done 3. We have 1 more, and then I'm just gonna choose 2 of my own. Some fell out. This one? This one's interesting. So this one is pink on the cover. I don't know what I want to read with pink on the cover, because this is already an option. I don't feel like reading Dare You to Hate Me. Butcher and Blackbird definitely has pink on the cover, so I don't know if I should use that to count for that or find something else. I don't know if I have anything else. This is the first book, and there is not an ounce of pink literally anywhere on this. The second book, though, has plenty of pink. This one also doesn't have pink, but it does have red. But it didn't say red on the cover, it said pink. The unicorn hair is pink. Apprentice to the Villain. Not a lot of pink, but there is pink. Now, as I mentioned, I am a girl who is a big fan of her free will. I want to pick a couple of my own books for my TBR. The first one being Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. I cannot wait to read this one. This one sounds so good to me, so I am definitely throwing this on here. Plus, it's October. There are a bunch of like thrillers and like scary movies and stuff like that, so I feel like reading a thriller in the month of October is like the perfect timing. Circling back to one that I saw DNF'd, I'm gonna go ahead. There's another option. I'm gonna choose a different option. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This one I started reading in like March or something like that, and I was really enjoying it, but I am in such a fantasy mood that I really want to add this one. So I'm throwing this on here as the book that I saw DNF'd. I kept looking at it while I had that prompt, and I was like, this feels like an option, but I don't know how to make it work. It's because I literally soft DNF'd it. I might end up reading Red, White, and Royal Blue in October, but I also might want to save that for November. I'm not fully sure. I just want to like read the things that I want to read, and fantasy is high up there because I low-key feel like I'm slumping. If I read the stuff that I want to read, then I can like push through and read other things as well. I don't know if that makes any sense. Here is where I want you guys to pick one for me. Like I have mentioned multiple times throughout this video, am in the biggest fantasy mood right now. Should I read Phantasma by Kaylee Smith or One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig? I would be so happy with either of these. I definitely want to read both of them, but I want to know what you guys think that I should prioritize for this month. They both seem like gothic, spooky reads. It has been calling my name for a while. I think I mentioned that in my last video. It's got tarot cards, all of the above. But then this one takes place in hell, so is that like more like Halloween-esque spooky vibes? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should read. Like I said, I'd be happy with either, and I'm in the biggest fantasy mood. I will hopefully read more than the books that I have shown you, but let's just go through my TBR really quickly so you guys kind of have an idea of what I'm reading this month. Carryover from last month, Butcher and Blackbird by Bryn Weaver. I got like 2 pages into this, just didn't have a ton of time to read it unfortunately, but I am still very, very excited to get to it. It is a serial killer romance between 2 serial killers. I've heard really good things about this one. I've heard it's really fun. People from work are now recommending it to me as well, so there's even more pressure for me to read it. Plus, I feel bad not having read it last month when you guys all picked it for me. I think it was almost unanimous. Then I have Mile High, which is a hockey romance that I started this past month. I am 208 pages in and really, really liking this one. It's the first book in the Windy City series for the sports romance prompt. If I complete that one before the month is up, which I don't know that I will, then I will move on to Right Move. For the prompt, a book that was gifted to me, I have Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. This is the first book in the Nightborn duology, but it is the first book in the overarching Crowns of Nyaxia series. The third full novel in the series just came out, but like the first book in the next mini-series just came out, if that makes sense, because it's a series made up of series. So I've been seeing this one everywhere. Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. This is a thriller I spoke about earlier that sounds super interesting. I recently picked it up, so I wanted to add it. Apprentice to the Villain for a book with pink on the cover, unicorn hair. This is the sequel to Assistant to the Villain, which I read last month and loved. And then Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, which is the prompt soft DNF'd. And then of course remember to vote for whether you think I should read Phantasma or One Dark Window. That is going to be it from me. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing well reading mentally and otherwise. Let me know what is on your TBR for the month of October, or if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I love y'all so much, and I really hope to see you all in my next video very, very soon. Bye, guys.